My name is Kraft O'Neill. My family's been in the steel business for over 100 years, and I grew up surrounded by it. During that time, we've seen many changes and faced many challenges in our industry. Our record of success has come through navigating the opportunities that hard work brought our way, by embracing amazing advances in technology, as well as the efforts of the exceptional people we've been privileged to work with. A company doesn't make it past 100 years without the dedication and support of its employees, customers, suppliers, and shareholders. It's a history that I'm proud of and something that lives in everything we do. It's a journey we are still on and stretches back to a time long before me. A rich history that has moved hand in hand with the story of our country, a story that builds the foundation of who we are today.
The O'Neill Industries story begins in 1882 with the election of Edward O'Neill as governor of Alabama, followed by his son Emmett O'Neill in 1911. These father-son governors played prominent roles in the development of the state of Alabama, as well as being presidential electors and framers of the state constitution. Emmett played a key role in the development of the steel industry in the South, with many believing that his speech to the 1911 Chamber of Commerce of the state of New York turned the tide for a southern region still reeling from the blows of Reconstruction after the Civil War. Emmett sat next to legendary industrialist J.P. Morgan, who was so impressed with Governor O'Neill that he told O'Neill, "You have set your state ahead by 25 years. We're going ahead with our improvements in Birmingham." Morgan spoke for U.S. Steel in those days, and his was the final word. After the governors set examples of hard work and perseverance for future generations, Kirkman O'Neill, Governor Emmett O'Neill's son, started to carve out a path of his own. Kirkman was among a class of 106 to graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy and served as a lieutenant in the Navy during World War I from 1917 to 1919. His career began in the shipyards of U.S. Steel and Ingalls Iron Works, gaining him experience in metal fabrication before deciding to strike out on his own. In 1921, Kirkman saw an ad calling for investors in a small metal fabrication shop in the West End of Birmingham. Sensing an opportunity, he borrowed $2,000 to invest in Southern Steel Works, later buying out his partners, and began to build a business that would one day become O'Neill Steel. But as soon as the company began to thrive, the Great Depression hit. Forced to downsize, he was able to hold the fledgling business together, riding out the downturn by eking out an existence and holding on to his employees. His determination paid off, and as conditions improved, so did the company's fortunes. In 1937, Southern Steel Works added a steel distribution division, one of the first in the South, and in 1939, sensing an impending war with Germany, the U.S. government began spending money that improved the company's fortunes, sending Southern Steel Works large orders for fabricated steel, for buildings at Army and Navy bases, as well as materials for a 16,000-ton dry dock. And then, without warning, a new front opened. The bombing of Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, entwined the company further into the history of the U.S. Kirkman already had plans for a newer, more modern plant in East Birmingham, and it was just what was needed to help America hold its own in the Two-Front War. With the permission of the armed forces, Kirkman proceeded with the facility, and within 6 months of breaking ground in 1942, was shipping 100-pound bombs and parts for superstructures and gun platforms for the war effort. By the time the war ended in 1945, Southern Steel Works employed over 1,300 men and women, and bomb production had increased to over 60,000 per month, double what any other plant in the country was doing. The company was recognized as the largest producer of bombs for the U.S. For its outstanding excellence in performance of production, the U.S. government awarded the company E for Excellence Awards in both 1943 and 1945. It was a victory for the country and for the company as well. Kirkman's son, Emmett II, following duty as a Navy lieutenant during World War II, joined his father at the company in 1946, continuing the family business. In 1956, the company changed its name to O'Neill Steel and ushered in several decades of significant change and growth, with Emmett becoming president in 1959 and expanding the business throughout the Southeast. The company decided to focus solely on metal distribution in 1969 and closed its fabrication business. By the 1980s, the company blanketed the Southeast and looked towards other areas of the country for growth. One of these decisions led to the purchase of Indiana-based Shelby Steel in 1985, the company's largest acquisition to date. Emmett was a strong believer in growth and said, "The future of our company is now and always will be about growth and productive changes. At the same time, we must hold fast to our basic values, like integrity and commitment to excellence that we've had since my father founded this company in 1921. By acquiring successful companies with similar cultures, matching values, and strong employee and management teams, O'Neill grew its family of companies, along with its ability to further meet the needs of its customers and diversify its offerings, starting with an international expansion in 1998 with O'Neill de Mexico, the first business outside the United States. When Emmett passed away unexpectedly in 2004, and his son Kraft became chairman, the company was continuing its expansion into high-value specialty metals, including nickel, cobalt, and titanium, used in the aerospace, power generation, and medical markets, leading to its largest acquisition to date of TW Metals in 2005, expanding the company's global reach worldwide. The continued broadening into high-value products and new markets fueled growth and led to the 2008 creation of parent company O'Neill Industries, or ONI, to provide a comprehensive corporate umbrella. Further acquisitions grew the family of companies, and realignments streamlined the operations. And in 2021, O'Neill Industries celebrated its 100th anniversary, a milestone for any company and a testament to the vision of the O'Neill family and the hard-working people who worked alongside them. What can be said of a company whose resilience has lasted over 100 years? For over a century, O'Neill Industries has adapted to the changing world around us, embracing and furthering technological change, and always looking ahead to whatever the future holds. Nurtured throughout by both care and business acumen, conducted with the highest degrees of integrity, fairness, honesty, and reliability. It is a philosophy that guides each ONI company, because we are all family.
My father, Emmett, had a particular fondness for an enormous magnolia that had been planted back in 1946 outside of our old offices in Birmingham. It had grown with the company, and when in bloom was a thing of rare beauty. But the tree was in the way of a much-needed new road. My father insisted on saving the tree by moving it across the street next to the new corporate office. Experts said it couldn't be done, but my father was determined to give it a try. 2 60-ton cranes lifted the tree and moved it over 200 feet, roots and all, to its new location. And that is where the tree still lives to this day, strong as ever. Its deep roots and reaching branches grow as a reminder of the living history of our company, a sense of what is past and what is to come. My grandfather had a Latin phrase he liked to use, difficultas ne deterrem. Difficulties do not deter us, and they don't. O'Neill Industries is not just a family of companies, it's my family. And for as many years as we've been in business, we're just getting started. With fresh thinking, always looking ahead and preparing for the future. Even after 100 years, we continue to feel small enough to treat you like family, but big enough to get the job done.